Waspadalah terhadap nabi-nabi palsu yang datang kepadamu dengan menyamar seperti domba. Tetapi sesungguhnya mereka adalah serigala yang buas. Dari buahnya lah kamu akan mengenal mereka. Dapatkah orang memetik buah anggur dari semak duri, atau buah ara dari rumput duri?
What if Jesus himself predicted the rise of one of the world's largest religions, one that would come centuries after his time on earth? In Matthew 7, verse 15 to 16, Jesus warned about false prophets who would appear in sheep's clothing but would inwardly be ravenous wolves. These words resonate deeply when examining the rise of Islam, a religion that presents a facade of peace and devotion, yet has a history and teachings that often contradict the principles of love and grace preached by Christ. Could Jesus have been forewarning us about figures like Muhammad and movements like Islam? Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. This prophecy serves as a litmus test for identifying false spiritual leaders or movements. The image of sheep's clothing implies an outward appearance of goodness, religiosity, and sincerity. However, Jesus warns that these false prophets are, at their core, dangerous and deceptive. The key test he provides is their fruit, the lasting effects of their teachings and actions. Are they producing peace and love, or are they sowing division and violence? Let's apply Jesus' test to Islam. Outwardly, Islam appears to share many noble values. But what happens when we examine its fruits more closely? Islam, at first glance, seems deeply spiritual and generous. It emphasizes devotion, morality, and discipline through its 5 pillars: Shahada, faith, a strong declaration of faith in Allah; Salat, prayer. Muslims pray 5 times daily, demonstrating devotion; Zakat, charity, the obligation to give to the poor, reflecting a concern for the needy; Psalm, fasting; observing Ramadan, a time of reflection and self-control; Hajj, pilgrimage, a communal journey to Mecca that fosters unity. These practices make Islam appear kind-hearted and peaceful. Many Muslims embody these principles sincerely, striving for spiritual growth and community care. But Jesus warned that appearances can be deceiving. To truly discern a movement's nature, we must examine its deeper fruits. When we look beyond Islam's outward practices, a different picture emerges. Historically, Islam's spread was marked not by peace, but by the sword. Early Islamic conquests in the 7th and 8th centuries swept across the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of Europe, forcing entire populations to submit to Islamic rule. People who didn't submit to the Muslims were brutally killed. The Quran 9th verse 5, often called the verse of the sword, commands, "When the sacred months have passed, kill the polytheists wherever you find them, capture them, besiege them, and lie in wait for them with every strategy of war." This verse underpins much of the militant expansion of Islam. In conquered regions, non-Muslims faced harsh choices: convert to Islam, pay the jizya, a tax for non-believers, or face death. Apostasy, which means leaving Islam, is punishable by death, further enforcing control. This contrasts sharply with the free will Jesus upheld in his teachings. Moreover, the hadiths, collections of sayings and actions attributed to Muhammad, paint a troubling picture of his character. Muhammad led raids on caravans and ordered executions of those who criticized him, including poets. He owned and traded slaves, including women taken as captives during war. Muhammad married Aisha when she was just 6 years old and consummated the marriage when she was 9, which means he had sex with her. At the time, Muhammad was 53. These fruits of Islam's founder are difficult to reconcile with the principles of peace, humility, and self-sacrifice that Jesus taught. To truly understand Jesus' prophecy, we must compare his life and teachings to those of Muhammad. Preached peace, love, and forgiveness, even for one's enemies, never led armies or wielded political power. His kingdom was not of this world, died on the cross to save others, embodying ultimate self-sacrifice. Left behind a legacy of compassion and grace that continues to inspire. The contrast is stark. Jesus lived as a servant, while Muhammad sought political and military dominance. Jesus' warning about false prophets in sheep's clothing perfectly aligns with the rise of Islam. Outwardly, Islam projects piety and charity, but when examined through the lens of history, its fruits reveal a legacy of violence and distortion of truth. Even today, many Islamic countries show the bad fruits Jesus warned about: widespread poverty, violence, lack of human rights, and the constant stream of refugees fleeing these conditions. Jesus stands in stark contrast to Muhammad, embodying love and peace. His prophecy reminds us to discern truth not by appearances, but by lasting impact. The question remains, which leader and legacy will you follow?